Okay. Hi there. Welcome to the Tops 100 Center Parcs Hangout. I'm here tonight with four Tops 100 bloggers, and we're going to be sharing some tips and suggestions about how to make the most of a trip to Center Parcs in the UK. I'm just going to ask our bloggers to introduce themselves. Alison, if I can start with you.
Hi, I'm Alison, and I blog at notanothermummyblog.com.
Charlotte?
I'm Charlotte, and I blog at raisingwildones.com.
Okay. And we're also joined by Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I blog at Mum in the Madhouse.
And finally, Lindy.
Hi, I'm Lindy, and I blog at squidgyblue.com.
Okay, so all of our bloggers have been to Center Parcs in the past, and I just wanted to start off with asking about what are your tips when somebody first arrives at Center Parcs on making that arrival and check-in process as smooth as possible. Alison, what do you think?
Well, I think it's probably fair to say that most people probably arrive at Center Parcs perhaps after lunch. So we found that if we get there early afternoon, there can be queues of cars to get into the whole grounds. So it can take maybe sort of 10, 15, 20 minutes to even just get in and park up. So going early is a really good tip of mine. So if you can get there, depending on how far you have to travel, get there mid-morning, late morning. Because actually you can park up and you can eat in all the restaurants, you can go swimming, and they've got really good storage facilities for buggies and lockers, plus obviously you can leave all your luggage in the car as well, but then it means that you're not queuing up with everyone and you're actually extending your holiday a little bit as well.
Okay, that's a great tip. Charlotte, can I ask you, because you went with preschoolers, how did you find the check-in process, and have you got any advice for people who are taking young children to Center Parcs?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. I found the check-in process really easy, really quick, didn't have any problems at all with my boys.
What time of day did you arrive?
I think it was about midday we got there. It gave us just time to settle in and relax in the lodge before really having to go out and explore too much.
That's great, thank you. One of the things that some people think about Center Parcs is that it can be quite expensive having to pay for activities and food. Jen, I know that you're great at offering money-saving tips. How did you enjoy a thrifty break at Center Parcs? What would you say are your best bits of advice?
I would say check out the location before you go and do a supermarket shop before you arrive. So take with you your breakfast, lunches and dinners, because eating out does add up. And to be honest, it's quite nice just to be able to have croissants in the morning or eat. I know my boys particularly like that we had a cereal pack with different cereals in, something we wouldn't normally have at home, but definitely kept the price down when we got there. Try to make sure you pack everything you're going to need, so footballs, balls for swimming, goggles, watching towels, because when you can hire or rent all these things, but they do all add up. It's the same with it. You can take your bikes with you, and you can take bike helmets and bike locks with you, so you don't have to hire once you're on the park. You can take all that with you. We also took DVDs so we could play them in the lodge on an evening, and we took board games as well.
Okay, Lindy, can I ask you, you had a long weekend at Center Parcs. Was it expensive, and what did you find were the most cost-effective things to do?
I didn't find it very expensive at all. I thought it was going to be, but in the end, I didn't think it was. We just brought lots of things, lots of things in the car to keep her busy, to keep Squid busy. So if there was ever any downtime, then she could stay at the lodge, and she played on the iPad or read books. But yeah, we didn't find it very expensive, and also check-in was super easy because we got there late afternoon. And other than the fact I couldn't find my reference number, they were still super cool with it and still got us in really quickly.
Okay, and I'm interested to know what your experience of Center Parcs is with children of different ages. So, Lindy, how old is your daughter, and what were some of her favourite things to do at Center Parcs?
She was 7 when we went, and she absolutely loved the pool. Would have spent the entire time there if I had let her, but we had to get up for eating and that sort of thing, and also horseback riding. we did pay for an extra activity, and we went horseback riding, and that was a lot of fun. You know, we were all over the grounds, and yeah, lots of fun. She enjoyed it.
And Jen, how about your boys? How old are they, and what were their favourite things to do at Center Parcs?
My boys are 8 to 9, and they did climbing, treetop adventure, a gladiator challenge. They played football. They did rollerblading, basically anything to do with being active. And we also cycled all the time, and we swam most evenings. And that was one of the things that we found lovely, was the swimming pools open until 9 o'clock. And we went earlier in the year, so it did get dark, but they still kept it open, so you could still go outside. And for older children, it was much quieter to use the pool later on in the evening after tea, when all the younger ones were kind of getting tucked up in bed.
Yeah, that's great. Charlotte, your children are a little bit younger. What kind of things did they find to do?
Yeah, my boys are 3 and 5, and I think I have to agree, the pool. They absolutely loved the pool, and they could have been in there all day as well. And the one, I don't know if all Center Parcs have it, but the one we went to had like a mini petting farm type area, and the boys absolutely loved that too. And we went for a boat ride on the lake, which they loved.
Yeah, ours also had a like a nature trail. There was sort of a guide, and you could meet up with them, and they could go around and show you all the different, you know, animals, bugs, flora, fauna, and that sort of thing. And Squid just loved that sort of thing. So she was all about, you know, learning things. And like,
yeah, the one we went to, you could look at red squirrels. There was,
red squirrels.
Red squirrels. So there was a red squirrel trail, which was really interesting. We didn't spot any, but it was great that they tried to, you know, show you things like that as well.
Okay, so in terms of things that you took with you to Center Parcs, Alison, what would you say are the absolute must-haves that you should pack to go to Center Parcs?
I would say that it's things like, even if you're not taking loads of food yourself, take things like salt, pepper, ketchup, dishwasher tablets, washing up liquid. Actually, one thing that I always forget to take and then regret is like sandwich bags or tin foil, because obviously if you're having food or you're opening up a packet of ham or something, being able to wrap it up and keep it fresh for the next day is really important. And yeah, taking things like that, almost like kitchen basics, I would say, is a really good tip.
Okay, Lindy, can I ask you the same question? What do you think are the things that you should absolutely take with you?
My number one thing to tip that I would think would be the way you pack, because you can't park up in front of your lodge. So if you sort of like higgledy-piggledy throw everything in your car and think, oh, I'll just be able to unpack the car in front of the lodge, you can't really do that. So I would say make sure everything's like easily transportable, so that, I mean, because I think you can sort of like park up in front of the lodge and unpack, but it makes life a bit more difficult. So if you can sort of have everything in like roller bags or backpacks and that sort of thing, that's the best way to do it. And then you don't have to worry about queuing up around and trying to find your lodge and that. So, yeah.
Charlotte, can I ask you, sorry, you took younger boys, how well equipped was the accommodation, and what were the things that you needed with you?
Yeah, the accommodation was really good. We took things like some board games and books and things just to keep them occupied, like in the morning before we went out and in the evening. And loads of snacky foods like biscuits and crisps, things like that, just for when we were in the lodge. And also barbecue food, because out on the patio they've got like a barbecue area, so it's really nice to sit out there and have a barbecue with all the like deer and stuff.
Okay, I'd like to ask all of you, is there anything that surprised you about going to Center Parcs, or anything that is your kind of absolute top tip for making the most of a visit to Center Parcs? Alison, can I come to you first?
I would say the biggest surprise to me when I went was how brilliant the spa was. So the spa is, you know, as good as any top-notch London spa that I've been to. They've got amazing rooms that you can go and sit in, you know, steam rooms, and, you know, amazing little chill-out areas. And you can just book and go for a couple of hours. and it's actually lovely because you can actually book to go in the evening. So if you're there with a partner and one of you does bedtime, you can like steal off and go off to the spa for a couple of hours. And the one that I went to had an Aldo Zilli restaurant in it as well, which you can only get to if you're going to the spa. And you can get a glass of champagne and a nice little salad, so it just feels really decadent. And to me, it felt like I wasn't in Center Parcs. I was, some 5-star resort. It was lovely.
Charlotte, how about you? What did you find is your top tip for making the most of a break at Center Parcs?
I would say the swimming pool is really addictive. The boys would be there all the time if they could. So I would agree with what Jen said earlier. If you go later in the day, it's probably best because then you can pack in some more stuff before you go to the pool and end up staying there for ages.
Sorry, and Jen, how about you? What's your top tip?
I have a few actually. Take shower caps for putting on the seats of your bike if it rains, because there's nothing worse than getting a wet bum when you come out of somewhere and you're going to cycle back to your apartment while you're staying. Make sure you've all got backpacks. Again, we cycled a lot, so we needed backpacks to keep our swimming things in and anything when we were doing activities. Make sure you book your activities in advance, or when you get there at least, so that you get the best time slots. Even things like, if you want to play tennis, you can go and you can book them and they'll help you, or there's sort of online things in each of the areas where you can go online and book it there and then. And just, do things that you've not done. We've had great fun doing lots of things. I even attempted to do the treetop challenge, even though I bottled it and you had to let me down. But it was still great fun and we really enjoyed it. I think you're still muted.
There we go. Just trying to find the right button madly then. Lindy, one thing we haven't talked about is the food. How did you find the food at Center Parcs? And have you got any recommendations that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, I mean, we went out to, I think it was Cafe Rouge when we were there. So I found they had a really good selection of a good range of foods. I think everyone goes to, is it called the Pancake House?
Yeah.
And I think that's like traditional. You go there, but then they also have some fast food places. And we went with Squidge, and it was late. I mean, it was like one of those nights where we let her stay up late, and they were really accommodating. Didn't mind that there were children there that late at night. But yeah, it was great. Food there was fantastic. Yeah. And also they have a creche there.
Okay, so you can leave the children.
So yeah. So if you wanted to go to the spa, like Alison said, we put Squidge, and she did like a cookery class, and they kept her there for like 2-3 hours, and then we went out and I did the spa, and Simon did, I don't know what he did, but he went off and did his thing, and yeah, it was good.
Charlotte, how did you find the food, and what was your favourite place to eat at Center Parcs?
We went to, I think it's called Huck's Bar and Grill, and it's like American diner type thing. The atmosphere there is just really amazing. They make everyone feel really welcome, any families, and you can have like cocktails while the boys are enjoying their burgers and American diner food. It's really nice.
Okay. Alison, if I can just finish off by asking you, is there anything that you should absolutely not miss? Can you tell us which Center Parcs you went to and what would be your absolute top recommendation for people to do there?
Well, I've been to two. I've been to the Longleat Center Parcs and also the Elvedon Center Parcs. I would say that the spa is amazing, but for my daughter, who was about 1 or 2 when we first went, for her, the thing that she got the most out of was the messy play classes and the arts and crafts classes that they put on for the younger kids. She just had an amazing time. And we've still got the art that she made up on her bedroom wall. So that's a real special memory that we've got from our holiday at Center Parcs.
That's lovely. Thank you all very much for all of your tips and all your advice. And if you look below the video, we have links to all of the blogs by the bloggers who've taken part tonight. So thank you very much and good night.